I'll tell you different types of resources. Our earth has enough resources. These are generally classified into natural resources, human made resources, and human resources. Our earth has so many resources, and these are categorized into three categories. First is natural resource, second, human made resource, and last is human resources. So, first, I will tell you about the natural resources. The natural endowments such as land, air, water, soil, minerals, natural vegetation, and fossil fuels are known as natural resources. Some of these resources can be used directly by us, that is, without any modification or processing. However, most natural resources need to be processed to produce goods fit for consumption. Natural resources. The word natural itself says the things which provide by nature. Examples are given: land, air, water, soil, etc. There are many resources which is used directly by us without any change or modification, without any processing. But still some natural resources are there which need to be processed to produce goods fit for consumption. They have to convert some natural resources with the help of processing to make it fit for the human consumption. For example, air, water, and fruits can be used directly, but minerals have to be separated from ores. Like air, water, or fruits, we use directly. There is no need of any modification. But if we talk about minerals, of course, we need extraction. Means we have to be separated these minerals from their ores. Crude petroleum has to be refined to get petrol, diesel, and wax. If we talk about crude petroleum, so we need to refine it to get petrol, diesel, and wax. We directly can't use that crude petroleum. Thus, natural resources provide us raw materials which have to be processed into useful products fit for human consumption. The place where natural resources occur influences their use. For example, some mineral resources occur on the earth's surface while others may occur deep under the earth's surface. It is difficult to mine beyond a depth of about 2000 meters. Therefore, minerals occurring at such depths cannot be used by human beings. Thus, the utility of any natural resource is determined by the following factors. It means where that natural resources occur, it influences their use also. Like some minerals, those who are on the upper layer of that earth surface, that we can use easily. But some are in the deep portion also of the earth surface. So it is very difficult to mine beyond a depth of 2000 meter. Therefore, minerals, those who are in so much depth, we can't use them. The utility of any resource, any natural resource, is determined by the following factors. So there are four factors. The form in which it occurs, the place where it occurs, the efforts needed to process it, the cost of processing it. Four factors. First is in which form they occur. Second, the place. Third, the efforts which we need to process it. And the last one is cost. So these four factors are there which depend on the utility of any natural resource, that is determined by the following factors. Natural resources can be further classified on the basis of their origin, development, renewability, and distribution. Whatever we had discussed about that natural resource, now they are classified into four portions. First, on the basis of origin, development, renewability, and distribution. So, on the basis of origin, there are two types: biotic resource and abiotic resource. Biotic resources are also known as living resources. They include plants, animals, and microorganisms. Some examples of these resources are forest, agricultural crops, and wild and domestic animals. Most of the biotic resources have the capacity to reproduce provided the environmental conditions are favorable, thus they are renewable. Biotic resources are those resources which are known as living resources. Means it comprises of living resources like forest, agriculture, crops, wild, domestic animals. These all are known as biotic resources. Abiotic resources. We get abiotic resources from physical or non-living environment. Land, water, air, minerals and power resources are abiotic resources. These resources can be exhausted by excessive use. Their total reserve cannot be increased by human effort, thus they are non-renewable. Their usefulness depends upon their value and accessibility. These resources are in great demand for the development of industries. Abiotic resources are those resources which comprises of non-living environment. Means, or we can say that non-living resources are also known as abiotic resources like land, water, air, mineral, and they are non-renewable ones. Because of these resources, they are exhausted because of their excessive use. Their usefulness depend upon their value, and these resources are in great demand for the development of industries. So on the basis of origin, there are two types, biotic resource and abiotic resource. Biotic resource means the living resources. Biotic resource comprises of living resources like human beings, forest, animals. Abiotic resources comprises of non-living environment like land, water, air, etc. Biotic resources are the renewable one and abiotic resources are non-renewable. Now, next one is on the basis of development. On the basis of development, there are two types, potential resources and actual or developed resources. So first, potential resources. Resources whose total available quantity is not known at present are called potential resources. These resources are not used at present but can be used in the future. Potential resources need detailed surveys for the estimation of their quantity and quality. For example, Africa has great potential for the generation of hydroelectricity. This concept of hydroelectricity generation is based on the number of waterfalls, their height, and the amount of water falling. However, they are yet not developed due to lack of suitable technology. In most of the developing countries, potential resources are not appreciably developed. Potential resources are those resources that we know their quantity ki they are available in that places, but we are not using them at present. For example, Africa, they have great potential for the generation of electricity, and their concept is based on the number of waterfalls, their height and amount of water falling, but still the technology is not available there. That's why they are not using them. It means we know that particular place have different types of resources available, but because of lack of technology we are not using them at present. Next is actual or developed resources. Those resources whose total quantity and quality are at present known are called actual or developed resources. Surveys had been conducted to find out the total available reserve. A part of the actual resources can be developed. For example, wind blowing at a high speed was a potential resource about 200 years ago. Today, a number of windmills have been installed in many parts of the world to harness wind energy. The windmills, such as in the Netherlands and Tamil Nadu, now generate electricity. Here, high-speed wind is an actual or developed resources. Actual or developed resources, they both are same. It means the resources whose quantity and quality we know and using them in present. They are known as actual or developed resources. With the help of surveys, we know their available reserve. Like example of windmills that we know about the winds blowing at a high speed about 200 years ago, and today we have number of windmills installed in many parts of the world, like in India, in Tamil Nadu, and with the help of that we generate electricity. So on the basis of development, we have two types: potential and actual resources. In potential resources, we don't know about their total quantity or quality, and we are not using them in present. Maybe we use them in future. They are known as potential resources. And actual resources whose quantity and quality is known, and we use them in present. Now on the basis of renewability. So there are two types on the basis of renewability: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Resources which can be renewed by production are called renewable resources. They can also be renewed by physical, mechanical or chemical process. Some of these resources are unlimited, like solar and wind energy. These are called inexhaustible resources. Their quantity is not affected by human activities. The biotic resources are also renewable. They can be renewed under favorable environmental conditions. Unfortunately, human beings destroy and pollute the environment. As a result, many species of plants and animals are either extinct or on the verge of extinction. Water is the most important renewable resource which is getting polluted due to human activities. Renewable resources are those resources which can be renewed in nature. Means if we use it one time, we can use it again. They are known as renewable resources which can be renewed by different processes like physical process, mechanical or chemical. They are inexhaustible, means we use them again, like solar energy, wind energy. So they are known as renewable resources. But still there are many resources which are renewable, but because of human activities, day by day they also become exhausted. Or like for example water, it is a most important renewable resource, but which is getting polluted because of human activities. Next is non-renewable resources. The resources which are available in fixed quantities, like minerals and fossil fuels, are called non-renewable or exhaustible resources. These resources, once exhausted, cannot be replaced. Most of the non-living things which satisfy human wants are non-renewable, as the natural process of their formation is very slow. The rapid population growth creates pressure on such resources. Non-renewable resources are those resources which cannot be renewed in nature. Means once it is used, it cannot be used again. So it is exhaustible in nature, like fossil fuels, and many examples are there. So with the rapid growth of population, human needs are also increased. So it creates pressure on such resources. So on the basis of renewability, there are two types: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are those resources which can be renewed in nature, like solar energy, and non-renewable resources, those resources which cannot be renewed, which we are having that resources in fixed quantities. Fourth one, on the basis of distribution. Resources are not uniformly distributed over the earth. According to their distribution, resources can be of two types: ubiquitous or localized. Resources that are found everywhere, such as air, sunlight, they are known as ubiquitous resources, and resources which are found at certain places are known as localized resources. Gold and silver are localized resources. So on the basis of distribution, there are two types: ubiquitous resources or localized resources. Ubiquitous resources are those resources which we find everywhere, like air, sunlight. Localized resources which found at certain places, like deposit of gold or silver. So there are four headings which we had done. On the basis of origin, there are two types: biotic and abiotic resources. On the basis of development, there are two types: actual resources and potential resources. On the basis of renewability, there are two types: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. And on the basis of distribution, ubiquitous and localized resources. Now, next is human-made resources. Human-made resources itself says that resources which is made by human, that is known as human made resources. There are many examples like building, roads, machinery, vehicles. These are known as human made resources because these all resources are created by human beings. So the resources which created by human beings known as human resources, human made resources. Technology is also an example because technology is also an example of human made resources. Now we have different technology using for different things. So all these technologies are made by human beings. So anything that created by human beings, that is known as human made resources. Now the third category and the last one is human resources. Human resources are the greatest resources of the earth, that is human beings. Why we have said that? Because without human beings nothing can be possible. Human resource is the most important resource because by using their skill, knowledge, they convert any resource into useful resource. That's why human resource is the important one. Education and good health have helped human beings to become a valuable resource. Therefore, any country which want to progress must take care of both its natural and human resources. So any country who want to make their country more and more developed, so they have to take care of its natural and human resources. So we had done three categories: natural resources, human made resources and human resources. Now the last portion is conservation of resources. There is a need to conserve resources, but why there is a need to conserve resources? In early times, the density of population was low. That's why their needs were also limited. But as the population rapidly grows, demand also increase. So that's why we need to conserve the resources. Otherwise, it is very difficult to fulfill the demand of the future generations. So using natural resources carefully without wasting them is called conservation of resources. When we use natural resources properly for today's need and also conserve them for future generation, it is called sustainable development. It is a definition of sustainable development, that is, when we use natural resources carefully for today's need and also conserve them for future generation, that is known as sustainable development. The use of resources should be sustainable. In recent times, a lot of awareness about preservation and conservation of resources and the environment has been created. This is due to the fear of situation which may arise as a result of large scale destruction of natural resources. Nowadays, people are aware about it because they know that resources are destructed on a large scale. That's why it is need to conserve them. Otherwise, it may be exhausted. Our future is actually dependent upon our ability to maintain and preserve the life support system which nature has provided. Thus, we must reduce the damage done to our natural environment. So, it is a need to conserve our resources, otherwise, it all will be finished. To save our natural resources for our future generations, and we have to save the future of our planet also. That's why we have to use the resources judiciously. We have to use them properly without wasting them. There are different types of resources, any resource, so we never use them carelessly. We use them very carefully without wasting them. So this is all about the chapter. Now here the chapter is finished. I will provide you one assignment based on this chapter. You have to solve that assignment and send it to me. Till that time, take care and stay at home and be safe. Thank you.